Hey guys, this is Britt coming at you on Thursday, May 26, 2016, and this is my 13-week / 3-month post-op vertical sleeve gastrectomy update. Sorry about the lighting. My Mac doesn't like lighting. I don't know. Anyways, yay, 3 months! Can you believe it? That's crazy to me. My technical Surgiversary was on the 24th, but I wanted to wait until my actual 13-week day to do the update because I have so many other videos to worry about. So I just wanted to wait until that happens. And yeah, I am greasy-fied. I just got done coming back from a 8-mile bike ride, which went very well, apart from my poor butt who does not agree that it went well. So anyways, you guys, yeah, I had a wonderful week. But first, let me get into my little intro. So I had vertical sleeve gastrectomy surgery in Chicago, Illinois at Northwestern Memorial Hospital on February 24th, 2016 under Dr. Jeffrey Fronza. My highest weight was 320 pounds. On the day of surgery, my weight was 296.6 pounds. Last week I came at you at 239 pounds even, and this week I come at you at 234.8 pounds. That puts my BMI at 40.3. My height is 5'4", just so you know. It gives me a week loss of 4.2 pounds and a total loss from my highest weight of 85.2 pounds. And you guys, that puts me at my second goal. So if you guys remember from past videos, my first goal was 270 pounds, which I reached on March 26, 2016, so a little after a month after the surgery, and that was also 50 pounds down. I am now at over 80 pounds down. I'm at 85 pounds down, but that puts me at my second goal of 230 in the 230 pound range. My lowest weight that I can remember getting to as an adult, and that doesn't include 18 and under, because at 18 I lost like 50 pounds and got down to 175. But as an adult, this is the lowest part I can get down to. I can't get past the 230s. I haven't been able to for years and years and years and years and years. So to be in the 230s was great, but to be like 234, it really shows that I am like probably dead center in the 230s. I can't say the last time I was 234. I cannot remember. It would probably been about 3-4 years ago when I got down to the 230s, and I can't even remember exactly what in the 230s I got down to, which is why I'm just saying 234. That is in the middle, and that I am calling is my second goal. Really happy. Plus, I did hit the 80-pound mark, so that makes me thrilled. My next goal for weight loss is 100 pounds down. It'll put me at 220 pounds. That's only 14 or 15 pounds away, which is crazy to be 100 pounds down for my highest weight. I'm thrilled. As you guys can tell, I am like super excited and happy. I probably am talking too fast. I am sorry if I am, but I am extremely thrilled with the progress I have made so far, and all my hard work has really paid off. Busting ass has really been helping me with the first 3 months of this surgery. So yeah, 100 pounds down almost. Soon. Okay, so since surgery though, let's get into that. Since surgery, I've lost 61.8 pounds. So I've been averaging about 5 pounds a week, and that's what I'm losing right now so far. And it is starting to slow down, obviously. The first month was glorious, but that's kind of the way it is. It's going to be like that. I will be getting my period in a couple of weeks, so that will slow things down as well, per usual. But yeah, 4.2 pounds is really good. Especially since I went to Chicago on Tuesday. So I will tell you about that really quick. So I had my 3-month appointment, and of course I had my surgery in Chicago. So I went to Chicago, and I figured I had the entire day to have fun, excluding my appointments. So we would go and enjoy ourselves since the weather was so perfect in Chicago. It was like 85 degrees and sunny, and there was a slight breeze. It was just perfect. My husband would disagree. He says it was too freaking hot, but I loved it. It was great. But I will get into my appointments first. So first, I saw my physician, who's very thrilled with my progress. Now I'll give you a little bit of an explanation as to why 60 pounds, or actually more like 85 pounds from my highest weight is so huge. So the reason that they look, what they look at for vertical sleeve gastrectomy, what they expect on average for weight loss over the course of 2 years or so, even a year, is 60% of your excess body weight. So I weighed 320 pounds when I started this whole thing. And that's the weight that they count, because you go on diets and everything like that once you hit that weight. My ideal weight, or my BMI ideal, is 135 pounds, give or take, and definitely it could be like 115 pounds, but 135 pounds is a reasonable amount to me. It puts me in a reasonable BMI. Even 140 pounds does, but I'm just going to say 135 for reference sake. So 135 pounds is an ideal weight for me. They look at that and they say your current weight, how much weight do you have to lose in between the two? That is your excess weight. My excess weight was 185 pounds if I were to go all the way down to 135. They expect you to lose about 60% of that excess weight. For me, that is, I actually can't tell you what that is, but what I can tell you is I've lost 85 pounds already. 60%, I'm at like 53% of my excess weight after 3 months. And they don't expect you to lose 60% until like a year or two out. So to lose almost 60% in 3 months is great. Like, they love it. They think it's freaking fantastic. They're elated with my progress. They are a little in shock. The guy, my physician, said some people don't even lose that over the course of 2 years. They don't even get to close to 60%. Some of them fall short of that. So he's ecstatic with how much I've lost so far. So I'm thrilled with that as well. I didn't check any of my my vitamin levels or anything like that. He said that he wasn't too concerned about it, that he does those checks at 6 months, not 3 months out, with vertical sleeve surgeries. So that appointment went very well. And then I went to go see my dietitian. Sweet lady, worked out really well. We talked about some things. She asked if I had any issues, and of course I don't have any issues. I talked to her about Gene Pro, and she said she'd get back to me on that. Thing about Gene Pro is that there isn't many studies out on Gene Pro. If you look up studies on Gene Pro, there are few and far between. I want to say that there might only be a few, like one study out on it that Gene Pro themselves paid for. So it's just iffy is all. I'm using it and I'm not concerned. I'm getting 90 grams of protein a day and it doesn't seem to be hurting me any. So I'm not too concerned. I would just want my dietitian to just say, yeah, it's fine. But I don't think she's going to get much further than where I got. So we will see with the Gene Pro thing, but I'm perfectly fine with Gene Pro right now. And she's perfectly fine too. She's like, keep using it. So, I asked her about that. The next thing I talked to her about was the amount of food I can get in. So right now I felt like it was low to get only 2.5 ounces in, and then to feel so crappy when I eat. I wasn't too concerned about the crappy thing. I just figured that's the surgery. That's the way it's going to be. But the 2.5 ounces thing, I was wondering, why is it not moving anymore? And she was like, don't push it, because sometimes I will try to push it. I don't know if that's a sabotage thing where I try to get 3 ounces in rather than 2.5, and I'll measure out 3 ounces. Really, when you look at it, like half an ounce is only like a tablespoon more. So you like peel off like a few things and it's 2.5 ounces. Like it's so minimal that you're like, I can do that, right? And she's like, stop. Of course, she'd stop. But she said, look, don't push it too much. Take advantage of the 2.5 ounces that you're getting. You're still getting the amount of calories you're supposed to in a day. There's no reason for you to need to push it to 3. Just be happy with where you're at and don't push. I also mentioned I'm only at 800 calories according to their list. They have me at, they're supposed to be at like 1200, and she's like, she's like, that's a guideline, it's not a rule. Be happy where you're at, don't push it, let your body naturally progress up into where it needs to be. She says, I would expect at 6 months you to be at 1000, but if you're still at 800 and that's where you're sitting, it's perfectly fine and normal, and to not push my body to further more calories or anything like that. And the only time I'd ever have to really worry about that is if I start stalling and I'm not eating enough, or then things have to be changed. But of course she wants me to check in with her on that if that is the case. So my dietitian visit went well. And the rest of the day in Chicago, we had I wasn't too naughty. I was a little naughty, but not too naughty, but it was a fun day. The first place we ate was Greek Kitchen in the morning. My husband got a gyro plate with pita bread and gyro meat and all sorts of good stuff. He just got extra gyro meat, and that's what I ate. I had some tzatziki sauce with it and a couple of onions and maybe a spoonful of rice. It was like a rice olive-y thing. It was really yummy. So that's what I had for basically breakfast. And then when we went out and stuff like that on our way to the Bean in Millennial Park in downtown Chicago. It's a big glass bean. You've probably seen it about 1 billion times. We stopped and got a Chicago-style hot dog, which is my fave, except for sport peppers. I'm not a spicy person, so I can't take the sports peppers. So I probably ate about a third of that. Sat really heavy because of the bread, but it was really good. My husband ate the rest. And then later on the evening, we went to Bubblegum Shrimp, which I've had before in Vegas, and it was expensive, but I thought that was Vegas, and we went to Chicago, and Chicago's expensive too, so it was expensive, and I don't know if that's just Bubblegum Shrimp or if that's Chicago and Vegas, but yes, it was very good. I had the shrimp cocktail. My husband had like some shrimpy combo thingy, and he gave me a couple bites of his naughty things like his coconut shrimp and his shrimp tempura, and it was super yummy. He drank some alcohol. I drank some. I didn't even really drink my water. I just order water so people don't ask me what I want to drink all the freaking time. And it was really good. So it was a really nice day. It was gorgeous. When the sun started setting, it was perfect. And then, of course, the wind started picking up off the lake. It was just a good day. And then we drove home, and it was quiet, and it was just an awesome day. Probably got 11 miles of walking in that day, but that's about normal for me anyways, so that's nothing, no phase in there. And that was my Chicago day. It was great. As far as exercise and food and my day-to-day things, nothing really has changed from last week. I still get about 70 to 100 grams of protein. I'll say 70 because 70 is on my low days. But generally I get about 90 grams of protein in a day. I get 60 to 70 ounces of water, so I don't have any issues with water. I don't really exceed 50 grams of carbs in a day. 25 grams of that is fiber, and the other 25 is just my net carbs. I do sometimes exceed like the 25 net carbs. Like sometimes I go above 50 because my fiber pushes it up, but I don't really harp on myself too much for that. It changes day to day, and I try to keep my net carbs for sure under like 40, 30, 40. So, but I don't really like get crazy, weird about my carbs. I try to keep it low, and for the most part what I eat, I do keep it low. I don't tend to get crackers and bread and cereal. I just don't eat oatmeal. I don't eat those things. I eat meat and cheese and yogurt. I mean, I just don't veer off of that kind of thing. And I'm perfectly content eating those things because I liked that stuff a lot before surgery. So it works out well for me. This diet works out very well for me. Not saying that I didn't like carbs. For sure, I loved carbs. I would eat bread, just eat bread. But I don't miss it. I don't miss it. Let's see, walking, like I said, I get 8 to 10 miles right now. I usually average about 11, but since I haven't been working a lot lately, I got 4 days off last week for a wedding. I got 4 days off this week because of my doctor's appointment. So I'm not getting the extra 3 to 5 mile boost that I usually get. So I'm actually averaging like 8 to 10 miles a day right now, which is fine. I'm perfectly fine with that. I'm also biking a little bit more, like 2-3 days a week. And that usually is 8 miles. 8 miles in an hour is what I like to go. And today was rough because it was so freaking hot that, it was really rough. Like my legs were jiggly before I was probably 5 miles in. My legs were wanting to give up. And next time I think I should probably bring some protein with me or something to make sure I don't hit a wall, because I was afraid I was going to hit a wall or something. Meaning that I was afraid my body was going to quit on me. So that's what I mean by hitting a wall. So that went well, but as you can see, it was hot. It was hot. Hair, as far as my hair coming out, I don't know. My hair's really thin, so it's hard to tell if it's coming out. Yeah, my brushes are more full, but I can't really tell at this point if it's coming out or not. So my hair's always been thin, and that's not going to change anything. So what can you do? I am freezing cold right now. I'm wet and sweaty still from my bike ride, and it's like I have the AC on, so I'm freezing my butt off. Okay, and then, let's see. There is one thing I wanted to share with you guys. My dietitian shared with me because I mentioned how food feels horrible right now. and how there's no pleasure in eating anymore for me. I just don't find it fun anymore. Food tastes great and then it goes down, it's awful, and then the rest of the dinner is ruined for me, basically. I still keep eating because I'm supposed to until I'm full, but I just don't find any enjoyment in eating ever, ever, ever. Like, no matter what I eat, it's pretty much not fun unless it's not filling. Like if it's not heavy protein. So vegetables and cheeses and stuff, those feel okay. But once I start eating heavy proteins, it feels horrible. And I don't get to eat vegetables that often because I just don't have the space for it. So she had mentioned that, she's like, well, think of your stomach as a PVC pipe. Because the first 6 months, she says, are very wonky, and your stomach is still healing. So your stomach doesn't stretch a whole heck of a lot during the first 6 months. So what used to stretch and accommodate any bulk that you'd put in it now doesn't stretch at all. It's solid PVC pipe that you just fill up. And once you fill it fills up to here, and it feels solid and tight. Because I did explain that tight feeling that I get when I eat. And she's like, that is why. Because your stomach just doesn't stretch like it used to. After 6 months, your stomach starts to kind of stretch and give a little more way for water, and you can get more things in, and then you know, that's when you have to really start being careful. But for the first 6 months, which is why they also call it the honeymoon period, your stomach doesn't stretch anymore. It will not accommodate any more than an allotted amount. So a PVC pipe is what she explained it. And then she said to not push it and to expect in the next 3 months I will be hitting about 1,000 calories. So she says, but don't push it, you know, be happy where you're at and let it happen naturally as you go. If you're hungry, eat, you know, that whole thing. So that is my 3-month update. Woo! Okay, so I'm glad I got done 16 minutes because the last one was 18. Okay, so you guys, I'm going to be putting out a skin flick this week for you guys so you can make a look at how everything is starting to sag and, you know, schlumpy. And then I'm going to put out some more question videos. I have 2 already recorded, and I think I have to record maybe 1 or 2 more. And I will put those out so I can answer people's questions. I'm just going to get them all out there. As usual, any information on me, MyFitnessPal, FitBit, Facebook, that's all down below. So if you ever want to add me to any of those things, take a look in the description box. And with the questions and stuff, I will put the people I'm answering, the people whose questions I'm answering in the description box as well. So I am sorry if I talked really fast through that, but I had a lot to say and I wanted to get through it with under 20 minutes if I could possibly. Okay guys, I hope you enjoy your day. It is gorgeous out here at least, and I know it's raining a lot of places, so stay safe. Love you guys. Bye.